Hi, I'm your host, Tom Fishbach. Tonight our guests are Mrs. Knapp, Director of Student Activities and members of the Drama Club. And now, the man with 101 hairstyles, it's Mr. John Berkey.
Well, not really 101, but maybe just one. This is our, Do you always have to wait for the applause sign, or what? Mike, how are you doing tonight?
Fine.
And I would welcome you as Mr. Band Director, but you're not Mr. Band Director anymore.
No.
You're Mr. Producer now, right?
Yeah.
So that's why you're dressed even spiffier than Band Director. So tell me, how's your first week as producer been?
Brilliant. It's been great.
It's a rough job, isn't it?
Real rough.
Real rough. But do you think it's a job you can handle?
Yeah, I guess.
All right, why don't you, we have, everything's scaled down tonight. What's the deal? The play's going on, right?
Play.
That's exactly it. Well, we have a lot of talented people on this show, and hey, they're in the play. I recognize a new
drummer.
face. Who's our new drummer?
Rob Tilton.
What do you have to say, Rob?
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay. That's why he's not in the play. And then, of course, our regulars over here, Mr. Surgeon. Are you all prepped for surgery?
Yep.
Are your hands sterilized and everything?
No.
All right. Well, we'll just mosey on over to the desk here.
Since when does producer get a spot on the show?
I don't know, Mr. Producer, I
Mr.
guess.
Mike
kinda
was never on the show.
gets what? Well, Mr. Mike was invited on, but Mr. Mike didn't want to do it. It's not that
Mr. Mike?
he wasn't allowed. Anyway, we have a super show tonight. Super. We have some people from the play on, even though the play is going on. Wait till you see how we do that. And we also have, just one of my favorite people around the school, Mrs. Knapp, is going to be here.
Yeah!
Geez, they're standing up and everything. She just got a very special honor this week. She's going to be out here in a little while to talk about that. And we have a couple of odds and ends here. However, it's not officially odds and ends. We hold up the sign.
Did you left the sign?
This was in the no, we've got that someplace. This was in the newspaper, and it was an ad for WCHS Today. I just thought I would read it and see if this ad was really true. The ad says, "Lights, camera, action. The show has started. The audience is ecstatic. The signal is given from the control room and the band starts. The graphics roll. The next Johnny Carson is applauded on the stage. You too can join in the fun Thursdays at 8 on Cable 5. Be there
What happened to
for the most important show of our day."
Ed McMahon.
I don't know. I didn't write that. So anyway,
Who did?
does that correctly describe what happened here tonight? Yeah. The audience is really excited. Anyway,
Big crew.
I've had this Ann Landers article in my folder here for about a week, and I was going to put it in a certain person's mailbox, but I just didn't have the heart to do it. So if you don't have the heart to do something like that, read it on TV. That's what I always say. You might want to take a look. What certain person do you think that's whose mailbox do you think that was going into?
Gee, you wouldn't think Mr. Woodward, would you? Would you?
Gee, John, I think it would.
Do you think I ought to put this in his mailbox?
No, I think you
No,
ought
I
to read it on
think you
the air.
should read it on the air. And
Well, we'll just, Mr. Woodward, check your mailbox tomorrow. We'll just give you the title of this Ann Landers article. Hairpiece, best bet for baldness. So,
Yeah!
check your mailbox. So, guys, do you like statistics?
No.
Just interesting facts?
Yes,
Absolutely
John, I
not.
do.
Okay, Mike does.
Very
Tom, you do
interested.
too, don't you?
Tell what they're
I ran
on.
across some interesting statistics. I thought they were fascinating. I don't know what America will think, but I thought they were fascinating. I'll just ask some of you guys. We did this in class the other day, and I thought it was fascinating. Do you guys have any idea what the richest country in the world is? Now, this
Kuwait.
This is per person capita income. You're
Kuwait.
close. That's not it. Kuwait is, I think, number 3 or 4. It's the United Arab Emirates. And what do you think the average per capita income there is?
$4.
What? 100,000? No, $24,000 is the average. Somebody said Saudi Arabia, right?
I did.
Well, that's right up there. It's number 4. They make $21,000. Now Switzerland's up there. What do you think the United States is ranked?
14th.
14th?
11.
All right, it's
15.
actually
15th.
it's actually ranked number 10, so we're pretty close.
That was close.
What do you think the average income? What do you think the average per capita income in the U.S.
What does
is?
Mr. Woodward make?
What does Mr. Woodward make? No, it's not $75,000.
Oh.
Plus expenses.
What's a $20,000 expense account for the
Yeah,
show?
the expense account for the show, yeah. 20,000 coffee expense. And it's $14,000 here in the U.S. Now, you guys got the richest, right? What do you think the poorest country in the world is?
Oh, Haiti.
Vietnam.
Haiti.
We have such an intelligent group here tonight. Chad, how much money do you think they make a year?
Chad's not here.
Chad's-
Chad's not
how much
here,
money?
Chad.
He says $650.
Nothing. Negative.
$80.
Ooh.
$80 is the average there. And China's ranked way down there, 224. How much? What do you think it is in the Soviet Union
Probably about
compared to the
If
U.S.?
it's real communism, it should be the same for everybody.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with anything. I'm asking, what do you think the average is in the
There
Soviet
should be
Union?
no average. It should be the same.
Well,
for
there's always an average.
1,000.
Even if it's the same, then that's the
everybody.
average.
1,000, John.
1,000? No, it's 5,000. So not bad. What do you think about Japan?
I think it's not.
You think what?
I don't
Do you think
know.
Japan would be higher or lower than the United States?
Higher.
Lower.
Because they copy all of our stuff.
It sounds like the price is
'Cause
right.
they steal all the things from IBM. and stuff.
No, it's $10,000, so it's a little bit lower than the United States. So were those interesting statistics?
No.
Yeah.
I just thought I ran across that and I knew Mrs. Knapp would love that as a prelude to her interview. But before we get to Mrs. Knapp, we have some people from the play. Now, as I said, right now they're doing a dress rehearsal, so obviously they can't be here. So we had to tape this earlier this afternoon. So we're now going to run that brief interview with the play so you can see why you too should go to the fall play. So here it is. And here we are sitting here with some
you guys
people
can
from
turn
the
up the
play.
volume.
First of all, we'll give each your names. You're Misty Ahart. You're Steve Calvert, Dawn Harkins, and Chris Meredith, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So how are you all doing tonight?
Good.
Real good.
Good.
Pretty good.
You guys walk around the streets like this? Or,
Yes.
Now
All
you're
the
obviously
time.
dressed up for the play, which will be starting tonight and tomorrow night. Now what's the name of the play?
You can't take it with you.
Okay, what's it about? Just give us a little plot
You want to dance?
summary.
Okay. It's about this wacky family who is involved in different parts. Like the mom, which is her name's Penny, is she involved in plays. She likes writing plays. And the grandpa, snakes hunt snakes at midnight. And I'm the father, which I produce fireworks. I just mess around with fireworks with a helping hand, who is Mr. DePina. And then you have Essie here, who she dances. She
Tries.
tries
She
to
tries.
I'm good.
She's very good.
She thinks.
So in the play, she thinks she can
It's
dance
wonderful.
well, but she
Well, everyone,
She can.
everyone's
Yeah.
good at what they do.
Confidentially, she stinks.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's one of the lines.
So her dancing instructor says, Mr. Kolonkoff. It's well, Tony here meets Alice in the office where they both work because he is vice president of his dad's company.
Caribbean
Kirby.
Company.
Exactly.
Caribbean company.
And
Yeah.
well, they just meet and just
Fall in love?
Of course.
Yes.
Yes, they fall in love.
They fall in love.
And they just
So
invite.
it's a romantic comedy?
Kind of.
Kind of,
See,
yeah.
Well,
it's
there's some
kind of
romance.
scatterbrained too because Tony has his parents come for dinner
Yeah.
and they come on the wrong night. And everybody's doing their own thing.
That's always
Ed's
really
playing the
interesting, yeah.
xylophone, I'm dancing, he's playing with his little toys and it's an all around good time.
Okay. What parts did you play?
I'm Tony Kirby, and I'm the son of Mr. Anthony Kirby Jr. He's like king of Wall Street and all.
So this takes place in
1930s,
Yeah.
Manhattan, New York.
Manhattan. Okay, so it's just about this one family and their scatterbrainness and stuff.
There's only one normal person in the family. That's
Wait,
me,
That's you?
Alice.
And you're the only normal one in real
Yeah,
life
I'm
too,
the-
right?
yeah.
Yes, I know.
unlike Missy here. Are you guys do you all have lead parts?
Yes.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Or
Pretty
who
much,
else
yeah.
Yeah,
has
pretty
lead
much.
parts in the play?
There's Kay Arnold who plays his wife,
Okay.
and
Yes.
there's Brian Coyle who plays my husband.
Yeah.
Gosh.
There's Jim
Grandpa.
Tallman.
Oh,
he plays
Jim Tallman.
Grandpa.
Jim
He's
Tallman,
got the
yeah.
main
We all know
lead.
Jim Tallman,
Yes.
Mr. Band Director now. He
Yeah.
was promoted, and he obviously couldn't be here tonight because he's at the dress rehearsal. So, in your opinion, do you think it's a good play?
Yes.
It's a really good time.
It's a fun.
Everybody
Is it
makes
funny?
sure they come
Yeah.
because it's a lot of fun.
It really is.
We've had
Do
a
you
good
think it's
time.
one of the best ones you've done?
I'm not going to say that.
Well, no, okay. But you
Yeah,
do think it's really good,
It's
though.
the
I
best
know you
one that
wanted
we've
to
had a
read it
lot of
over.
fun with. Yeah,
How long have you been practicing with it?
since October 2nd.
Yeah.
Yeah, October
Around
2nd.
there.
October
was,
2nd.
was tryouts. 2nd through the 3rd.
Okay, so that we're talking about a month and a half.
Yeah,
Mhm.
So how often do you have to practice or something like that?
every
Sure.
night.
All right, do you do it right after school or later on?
Sometimes it
Sometime.
depends on everybody else's schedule. Usually we have it at night, 6:30.
From
Get out by
6:30 to
10:30.
10.
6:30
Yes.
to 10. When do you find time to do homework and stuff like that? So
In
is it
between there.
12:30.
12, or you just don't do
Actually,
it, or what?
We do it in
Yes,
between.
that's-
That's
what-
good.
what happens.
Don't do it.
I think I'm going to get in trouble for saying that
So,
one.
no, so it's almost like going out for a sport or something. You really have to put in a lot of time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
oh.
a
Takes
lot of time.
work.
But you
But
all
it-
really enjoy it, right?
Yeah.
Or you wouldn't do it. Are you guys involved in other plays? I mean, I know I guess this is the only play this fall, right?
Mhm.
But there'll be a musical in the spring.
Right.
Yeah.
Will you
Plus,
be
we're all
involved
in
that?
drama classes, and we do our own little plays in that
Okay, so you learn how to do those plays in drama class?
most of the time. Yeah, pretty
Like
much.
just little plays maybe?
monologues
or-
and stuff. Yeah,
So you work on that in drama class?
Mhm.
So all of you are in drama class?
in
Mhm.
different ones.
In different drama classes?
They're in the lower. I'm
You
in
mean
the
just
higher.
in different? Oh.
I'm in the middle.
Missy, you're experienced,
Yeah,
huh?
that's right.
So,
No, it's only.
what
'cause-
other plays, is this the first time for anybody?
For me, yeah.
It's the first time you've ever been in a play?
Freshman.
Well, I've
Are you a
been-
freshman?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm a
Wow.
freshman. Yeah.
So it's your first time ever and you got a lead?
Well,
Jim
yeah.
Tallman got a lead too.
Yeah,
it
Jim
Tallman's
Tallman's
a
freshman and he
too.
got a
Yeah.
lead.
He got
That's
a very
Did you work
Real
on
good
this
part.
stuff in grade school? Because I know that's what Jim did. He was in plays in grade school and stuff.
Well, I
Did
was,
you?
I was a scarecrow once.
A scarecrow.
That's it. I was in a cornstalk production once.
Oh, so this is new?
Well, I was just like a small part, but
Well, something.
yeah, that's it though.
What about any of the rest of you? Have you done any other work besides here at the high school?
No.
In acting?
No.
You never have?
No.
None of the rest of you have?
I
Or
was
do you ever
just
think
naturally
about it?
born.
Or do you ever think about it? Like,
Naturally talented.
they do plays out at ICC and stuff, right?
If
Yeah.
you can't drive, you have no way to get there.
You can't drive? You
No.
don't have a license yet?
No.
But you're getting one, aren't you?
January.
January?
Yes.
I can see how excited you
I
are.
am.
It's really, what, about 2 months?
Yes.
And then will you be plays at ICC?
I'm gonna try out for cornstalk and Peoria players before I go off to ICC.
Oh, does that, yeah, you want to get,
Community rather than, ICC.
yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
What about you two? You're not in any now, but you ever think about it?
I was thinking about it, going out for the ICC. It really doesn't matter to me because I think all plays are good to me, really fun.
Yeah, you just like
So-
working on it.
His
It doesn't
family
really
is an
matter
acting
what.
family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your brother did stuff.
Both
when you
of
were
them.
in-
2 brothers.
2 of them?
John and Dave.
John and Dave.
Yeah.
Okay, what about going on with this, like even past high school? Like maybe into college, professionally?
I've been thinking about,
Radio City Music Hall? I mean, what,
That may be a rocket.
That might be a rocket, yeah. You would, you do
No.
great with those aerobics. Yeah.
Thank you.
So do any of you want to do this as a career?
Yeah, I do.
You do?
I think it'd be cool.
I'd rather be a drama coach, like Mr. Zimmerman.
After you've been in a couple plays, you think, wow, this
I
is
know.
kind of fun.
Yeah.
So, I like to carry it, past college, maybe even,
So it is lots
If
of
it's-
fun, but of
Maybe
course
you can go to
it's a
Hollywood.
real,
maybe.
Maybe.
it's a really shaky business to get into though.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
have
I'm
to
sure
be
you all
really
realize
good.
that
Yeah.
because some make it, some don't.
Yes, some of us do, some of you don't.
So do all of you guys sing too
No.
and dance? Or you just
Some
act?
of us.
Yes, yes.
Which-
Don and I do.
Yeah, me and
You-
Missy.
you
We're in the
dance.
musicals, yes.
And sing.
Yes.
But the 2 guys don't?
No.
No.
So you
No.
guys are just actors, so you won't be in the spring musical probably?
Oh, well, that's not
I
necessary.
was
You don't
in-
have to sing to be in the musical.
You don't?
No.
Okay.
Like Annie last year, I was a policeman. I didn't have a
Oh,
singing
okay.
part or
I
a
see what
dancing
you
part
mean.
either.
Okay.
Not very
Are
big.
there is there anything else done here at the high school that you can act in besides the fall play and the spring musical?
WCHS Today.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, let's hear it. We have a large audience here since for our afternoon thing. So, no, tonight it'll be full and really exciting. It's too bad you couldn't be here tonight. Anyway, getting back to this particular play, I heard that this play is done very well. Of course, it was done as a professional production, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I guess when it was
Pulitzer Prize winner.
okay, so that's okay. There's the sign. You can't take it with you, and there's all the information. Costs $1.50 for students, huh?
Mhm.
Adults $2.50,
Mhm.
and I suppose you are activity passes.
Yes, students can get in. No parents,
Yeah.
just students.
No parents on their activity
No.
cards, okay,
No
with their
senior
student's
citizens
picture.
on their activity card.
And it's at 8 o'clock each night right here
Mhm.
in the West Gym. Now, what Do I have to pay $1.50 to get in?
John, I'm sorry. We love you. And even though you did this,
you
yes,
didn't bring
you're-
complimentary tickets or anything?
Nope,
For,
sorry.
I'm sorry.
So I really have to pay to get in?
We could get fired for this.
You could get fired for
Yes.
this?
He pays us for doing these plays.
Oh, I see.
I don't think anybody's supposed to know about that, Missy.
Oh,
sorry.
yeah, you weren't,
That was supposed to be a secret.
you weren't supposed to miss. Well, I wish you guys lots of luck. I guess as this show's on right now, you've missed the first night of the play because this show's on Thursday night. But there's always tomorrow night, so why don't you all
There's also
get out
VCRs.
and the VCR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have somebody
What's
tape
VCR
it.
got to do with anything?
You can tape
Tape
it
them.
Tape what?
off TV, and so that we can watch it.
Tape the show.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm talking to people at home about going to see the musical, which you can't tape on VCR. I didn't, unless you bring your own camera. Well, I wish you guys lots of luck, and
Thank you.
I might be there. I'm really upset that I don't get complimentary tickets.
Talk to Mr. Zimmerman.
I'll talk to Zimmy and we'll see what we can do. So,
Thank you, John.
anyway, I want to thank you guys a lot for being here.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And we're back, and that was people from the play. Now, wasn't that exciting? Yeah. Anyway, we are back here live and with our Radio City Music Hall proportional audience out there. Really big things. Anyway, tonight we have a super show. I forgot to mention somebody in the opening who's going to be out here a little bit later on, Donna Rogers, who has her very own show right here on Channel 5 that's produced by the TV Club, Miss Rogers' Neighborhood, and she's going to be out here and just, I guess, tell us the uphills and pitfalls of being a talk show hostess. I think she's the first hostess we've ever had here at the high school. Exactly. But first, we have a very special person here tonight. She was here once last year, and people just couldn't quit talking about the show. They just, it was reran and reran, and people got tired of seeing the old one, so we're bringing her back. And she just got a very special award. And she's a dean here at Washington High School. Her name's Mrs. Knapp, and here she is. Yeah.
Oh, she's so sweet.
You still need a pass tomorrow.
Yeah, he's going to be in a pass tomorrow. So did you bring your book of passes and your VNAP with you? Now, one of the reasons you're here tonight is because you just got a very special award, right?
Right.
I know
I don't
she's
trust you,
embarrassed
John,
about
I'm
it.
sorry.
But, she is the Dean of the Year of Illinois, right?
Yes.
Now, she got a very nice plaque, so we're going to, she brought that with her tonight. Actually, she didn't bring it. We told her to go get it. She was a little too, so you can zoom in on that. So, I guess you're really proud to get this award, aren't you?
Yes,
Did it make
I
you really
was.
happy? What exactly does it mean to be Dean of the Month? Who voted on that?
Okay. Dean of the Month is a nomination done by your superintendent. I received that award last year. Dean of the
Okay,
Year.
I remember when you were on the show last
Right.
year. We brought that up.
Dean of the Year is voted in by your peers, which would be the deans from the state of Illinois. And there's a committee chosen of 5 deans, and they go through all of the membership profiles. And first thing you have to do is to score so many points in all the different areas. And then from there, you have to be nominated first by a fellow dean, and then there has to be so many recommendations turned in then by people in your school, teachers, administrators, and they say sometimes students. In my case, I have yet to find out, I found out who turned in the original nomination, but I have not found out the...
You mean you didn't find out it was the WCHS Today staff that
No.
we walked around with our pickets in front of. So I guess, like I say, you feel really good. When did you find out that you got the award? Was it like a surprise?
It was a
thing?
total
I mean,
surprise.
Like, when did you actually get it?
I received it last Wednesday night at the Illinois State Deans Association
You were
banquet.
gone at the convention, right? Where was
Yes.
that at?
It was in Champaign at the Ramada Inn. And we had a banquet the first night, and as part of the banquet festivities, the letters
Okay.
are read,
Mhm.
they go over all the qualifications, and then they announce the winner. And I did not realize they were talking about me because the definitions fit a lot of people that I knew. And it wasn't until I heard one phrase from one letter that
What was that?
the fair and friendly.
Fair and friendly. So that describes you, huh?
Well, I just heard Mr. Torrey use it so often, I
Fair
knew it
and
was
friendly.
him.
Oh, he wrote that one in. So a lot of people around the school, teachers and stuff, submitted your name in. So,
I have no
so that
idea
means that
who-
people, though, around the school had to
Yes.
do that. So
There had to be input. You had to serve, first of all, in so many service organizations, community work.
so
you
there were
had
some
to-
like qualifications,
you
and,
had-
and after you met
yes.
those, they
You had to be an officer or
then the fellow
chairperson.
deans voted on it,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So they think you're one of the best too, huh? for the year.
Evidently.
Now, what goes along with being dean of the month? Is there anything, or dean of the year? Is there anything you have to do, or is it just an honorary title?
It's an honorary
I
title.
mean,
and
do you like travel around the world and
No, they don't even give you 10 cents for a cup of coffee.
not even 10 cents for? Well,
No, but I will serve
we gave you
now.
a free Pepsi.
All right. I will now serve on the committee to choose next year's Dean of the Year.
So that's
We'll
really
have
the
to
only
sit down
thing.
and,
There's no
sit
big
through.
big
No.
job that goes along with it, or any.
No, other than all the different other offices and meetings you're going to attend.
So it's
because
just
of
so
it.
it's just a real big honor then. To get it.
Right.
Now, you didn't know we were going to do this because it wouldn't have been as much fun, but we handed out some cards before the show, and we asked people of our audience and staff why they thought you should have been Dean of the Month, because obviously people here think that you're a good dean too. So I'll just read some of these. This one says, Mrs. Knapp should be Dean of the Month because she is my friend. I always want my friends to have nice things. She deserves it. She does so much beyond her job requirements. Question. When do you want to go shopping again?
Oh,
Signed,
Mrs.
Katie.
Druin.
Katie. Be K. Druin.
Tomorrow at 3:30.
Tomorrow at 3:30, you guys are going
There's a
shopping.
sale.
How's-
Can I pick up a new pair of socks?
Mike Heffield wants to go along. You wouldn't mind, would you? I think she should be Dean of the Year because my dad bought a lake. And what kind-
Oh, I know who that is.
Says,
And
okay.
no, he doesn't live on a lake, but close to it.
And what kind of lawnmower should I use for my lawn is the question. She should be Dean of the Month because she keeps people in line and she relates well to everybody's needs. So that
That's
one's
very
unsigned.
nice.
But somebody out there. She keeps.
Coffee too?
Yeah,
I even serve it in the morning.
she keeps serving coffee in Mrs. Knapp's office. She keeps people in line, but she relates to everybody. So I guess that
Someone
means
wrote the same thing twice.
well, it's similar to the same thing. Do you, when you
No,
check
that's
it
not Mr. Woodward's handwriting.
that's
You can
not.
read it.
Another shot. So I guess what that person's mean is you're strict, yet you're nice. I guess that's what it means. I think she should be Dean of the Month because I don't know anyone better for the job. Question: who is her barber? Most people usually ask who Mr. Woodward's barber is, so I guess they.
I have a
guess they,
question for you, John.
You have a
What did
question
you
for me?
write?
What did I didn't get a chance for a card.
Well,
but
you can do it
I-
right now then. See,
I
I feel
think-
like turning the tables tonight. I'm not the same shy person of last year.
You're not naive this year. What, did you take a
No.
crash course in
All
getting
day.
interviewed on WCHS Today during the summer? You took that out at ICC, right? Well, we're gonna get Donna Rogers here tonight too. She's gonna find out what it's actually like to sit in the #1 chair. And
I think
Get
she'll be
drilled.
able to handle it very well.
I think Mr. Woodward, he didn't write it down, but I think I can express his sentiments. That he would feel you ought to be Dean of the Year because you're so much fun in Sea Lunch. I think that's what, you know, I have yet to eat in the teacher's lounge during Sea Lunch, but I've heard stories that it's just a fun group. Mrs. Druin, Mother Druin, as we affectionately refer to her, is in there, and just sounds like a good group.
Well, I'll tell you what, John, when you graduate from here, we'll invite you back and
Are you
allow
serious?
you to eat with us.
Oh,
Yes.
I'll come back from college just for that. You might graduate, you might get out early. I don't know if you'll graduate early. So you got Dean of the Month because I guess a lot of it's because Dean of the Year. I keep saying Dean of the Month. I'm still from last year.
was last
Dean
year.
of the Year this year, and then what? At the end of the century, Dean of the Century, and.
I'm old, but not that old.
Official Dean of the Winter Olympics.
Yeah. Did you get the '88 Summer Olympics? You'll be the official dean. Except you won't just be working
No,
with.
my goal is to become dean
truant
of the high
people.
school band next.
So speaking of the high school band, speaking of the high school band, that's one of the other things you're involved in, right? You're in charge of the flags, right?
Flag and rifle
What do
corps,
you
yes.
do as in charge of that? Do you?
Basically, because I'm not a dancer and I can't twirl the rifle, after a woman comes in and teaches the routines, we just change them to fit our needs. And basically, I'm there to make sure they know what they're supposed to do and to keep them practicing.
So you serve kind of like Uncle Woody does. You just keep everybody in line, but yet you don't really do anything. Is that?
Oh, I think I do
know.
something.
No, I know. So somebody does come in and actually teach
Yes.
them the routines, but then you kind of help them out with it.
What I can.
So do you have to attend their practices?
I attend all the practices.
How many do they have?
We practice 3 weeks in the summer. 1 week is just 2 hours each day. In July, we have a camp here that is 12 hours a day for 5 days that they practice. And then we go to band camp with the marching band.
So that
For a
keeps you
week.
busy during the summer. Do you have any
Right.
summer vacation?
I get 2 weeks.
You get 2 weeks?
Mhm.
So do you work at all those as far as being a dean during the summer?
I
Or
work
is it just the
2 weeks after school's out and 2 weeks before it starts.
what,
Doing
accumulating,
reports, getting things ready for first day of school.
finding out who's not coming back?
That's true.
Stuff. Yeah, you're getting off hours. I guess one thing else recently I heard we worked on was a drug program here involved with the in-school suspension program. You want to tell a little bit about that? I really don't know much about it, but I heard about it. And I heard you were in charge and you wrote a little booklet about it.
All I really did was edit the final book. Mr. Woodward and Mrs. Roper, and Mrs. Larson, Mr. Plessner, and about 3-4 other teachers sat down and pulled together all of the resources that we have in the school, and then I believe it was Mr. Woodward who assigned every person a chapter to write, and I was in charge of.
Let's hear it for Mr. Woodward.
That's good work.
Join.
We then put all the chapters together, and it was my job as being the ex-English teacher among the group to rewrite and check the spelling and all those nice
Mr.
things.
Woodward was the ex-janitor of the group, so like, what does he do? You know, I don't know. He went in there just
From
just in
there,
time.
we've printed the book. It's 86 pages, and it has been sent to the State Board of Education, the governor, and then, of course, Nancy Reagan had asked for a copy of it. And it basically tells what the school, the community, and the law enforcement officials of Washington and the tough love parents and support groups do. From there,
So
we
does it
went into...
like give guidelines on how
gives
to
guidelines,
how to
explains
handle drug problems?
everything that, yes, it explains what we are currently doing and what we plan to do in the future. And from there, we wrote a program called Self-Help, which is a self-referral program that students with problems, drug-related, alcohol-related, or any other type of problems, and they do not feel comfortable talking with the deans or the counselors, can go see a special counselor that's confidential.
So this booklet you said will be sent to those people. Will it be sent to other schools?
Yes, I started
Or
out with,
if they
they've already
request it, or-
been, yes, we've had several
So
requests.
is the book, is it getting some publicity? Except for
Yes,
this
it is.
show. I mean, you know, do you want to give an address? I know that, what publisher? Are you with Simon and Schuster
Well,
now?
anyone who would like a copy, all they have to do is contact Mr. Woodward.
Extension 25.
Right.
Or what's the extension of the teacher's lounge?
44.
44.
Or extension 24. Ask her, Mrs. Knapp.
And we're talking about the drug problem. I know we didn't really get into this last time you heard it all, but do you think the drug problem's a big problem here at Washington High School?
Yes, I do. Because with drugs, I relate alcohol as part of it.
So you definitely consider alcohol a drug?
I think alcohol, yes, I do. I think alcohol is probably one of the #1 problems, not only with our kids, but with all high school.
Do you think most
students.
kids drink alcohol?
Oh, I'm willing to guess I wouldn't be very far off that a high percentage of our kids party on weekends.
You madman.
But none of our administrators. What about other drugs? You know, like some of the other drugs, you know, that
I'm
get the
sure,
publicity.
from what
Do you
I've
think-
gathered and from what I've picked up at a lot of parties, there are where you find the beer kegs, a lot of times you will find the marijuana. We're not naive enough to believe that we do not have marijuana in our school, and some lookalikes.
Is it a problem, do you think, with use on the school grounds at all, or is that not a problem at all?
It's there, it's just harder to catch than it used to be. Students have
Do you
become a
think
little
it's
more,
so? Do you think it's used
refined.
less now, or they're just hiding it better, or what?
no, I don't think they're using it as much during school hours as they did before.
Do you think they're
I-
using it as much, period, as they did before? Because there's been a lot of you know, and it started here, way back, I guess, when I was a freshman, when Dave Toma came. You know, it started. You know, they started that
My
program.
personal-
And all that. Do you think that that's really helped?
My personal feeling is that we have less of a problem than we had before with drugs per se. But in its place, I think my own feelings are that we feel that alcohol is not a drug, and we have a lot of kids, I think, that do experiment with it. So I think
With
we still
alcohol,
have
you
an
say?
alcohol problem. We do not see
So you
it
say
in
just
the
'cause they're not
building or on the
using-
grounds as much as we used to. Suspension rates and the referrals and from what,
Yeah.
you know.
But if
we-
it's used on the weekends, you're still worried about it then.
Yeah, very much so.
Do you think it's worse at other schools, from what you know? I mean, do you have any contact with deans? I mean, I know you do because, you know, like of this convention you were at. Do you have any
Yes.
idea of whether it's worse
I'll
at
tell you
other
one thing
schools?
I've learned at going to some of these conventions, and that is sometimes you get depressed and you think, how are you going to continue? We got this problem, that problem, and you go to one of these conventions and you find out that there's schools and people who have more problems than you do, and this is really a piece of cake.
So you really think we are lucky here in that?
I don't think the students at this high school and in this community realize how lucky they are compared to a lot of school systems.
What about other discipline problems? How have, you know, we're into the year pretty well. It's the end of November. We've had, you know, 3 months of school now.
And
How do you
it's been
think
quiet.
discipline's been this year?
It's been
It's overall
quiet
problem.
overall. The students.
Boost it
All
up,
right.
guys. We can do it, John.
We can do it.
Here we go. Burn.
Of course, you didn't mind when we held up the IMC or anything like that. That didn't. No, we do our fun things.
I think we
but,
found
you know.
out in talking to the teachers in that most of them are commenting the same way. The student body is one of the better student bodies we've had in many years. We haven't had the problems with freshman classes with what you would consider the typical freshman the last 2 years.
Freshman.
We've been fortunate enough that we seem to have a much more mature senior class than we
All
had.
right, just.
But teachers are saying they're not having the problems in the classroom.
Just even
You
as
haven't
much
talked
as
to
like.
Mr. Moss, have you?
It's like just even like with kids talking and stuff. You think they're taking it more seriously?
I think so.
Now, do you think it's just the group of kids, or do you think it's really kind of changing? I know when you were here last year, you said that you thought. I think I asked you like over the last 10 years if it had gotten better, and you said you thought it had. So, do you think the whole thing's getting better?
Oh,
mean,
I
do you
think
think-
so. I
you
think
think the
that
whole-
with what the economy is like and the emphasis on education, I think I see walking these halls a more serious student. Granted, we
Because they
still
realize
have
that they
those
have
that
to-
don't believe in carrying books around.
or who leave their book bag in somebody's car and don't realize it till 8 o'clock the next morning.
I feel as the years have gone on that we have a more talented student body than we've had in years. They're sure a lot smarter than when I went to school.
Yeah, there was
All
no show like this when you were in school, right?
There's no television.
There was no
Oh, there was television.
There was
But I don't think-
television. Yeah, it was,
You know, you kids take a lot for granted. You have a television show, you have athletic events, you have a marching band, you have a chorus. You have a lot of things. When I was in high school, and it wasn't that many years ago, the student body never attended an athletic event because those were closed events. The only one who went to a game were the participants.
How come that was?
Safety reasons.
They didn't have a rumble.
I happened to go to school in the early 60s.
Where did you go to school at?
I went to school in the city of Chicago.
Oh, so you,
That's still the same.
so you did you go to school with Mr. Woodward, or
No, he belonged to the rich suburb areas. I belonged to the inner city.
and he still belongs to the rich suburb areas? It's just he brings in those huge bucks. Well, fill us in on the big number. How long you plan on staying here? I asked you this last time, and you said you were going to stay a while. We just wondered,
You
Do
just
you have any
wondered,
plans
huh?
to leave or yet? I know you said you really didn't before.
No, I always said that when I had my 20 years in, it was time to retire and stay home.
When
I'll
will
have
20 years be for you?
Next year.
Oh.
But I have no plans of leaving.
So you're going to stay. You're going to stay past your 20 years
Yes.
because you don't want to.
Hopefully.
You don't want to let down these kids.
Oh, sure.
And most of all, you don't want to let down Mr. Drew and Mr. Woodward, because what will they do during lunch?
I can come in.
Mrs. Druin will just have to go back to taking away IMC passes, and it just won't. And she just, it's fun, but and what will Mrs. Teven do? That's the question.
John, you're going to pay for all of this.
I have a feeling.
Check in the IMC.
I have some feeling that by the time I graduate, all this is going to come back to haunt me. I'm gonna have my hand out for my diploma, and something's going to happen.
You get Fred instead.
I'll get Fred instead. That's the old show mascot. Well, I want to thank you a lot for being here, and we're going to bring on Donna Rogers here for a few minutes, but you can slide down the couch, as they say.
Okay.
You call it a couch. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome from Miss Rogers' neighborhood, Miss Rogers, Donna Rogers. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I have a notion to go like this with this thing. That would really upset Mr. Woodward. Do something with that thing. So Donna, what's it like to host your own show this year?
It's great.
I know you really wanted to do that. You're a sophomore, right?
Yeah.
And you kind of started this show, right? The show didn't exist. Why did you want to host a show before you'd ever done it?
Because I watched Johnny Carson and I watched your show.
And you decided.
I said, I want to grow up
Gee.
to be just like John.
I know.
Just like him.
That's a
So
joke.
no. No.
Just kidding.
So since you've done it, do you have a good time doing it?
Oh, yeah, it's a lot of fun.
How many shows have you done? You've done what?
About 5 or 6.
About 5 or 6.
And we're gonna.
It's almost, you don't do them every week, but almost every week, don't you?
Well, we're doing them every week, but I took a couple weeks off. Gets a
I
little
know, vacation,
hectic.
you have to.
It gets a little
when you-
hectic,
When you re-sign the contract, you want more
Yeah,
of.
contract negotiation time.
You should hear my contract negotiations with Mr. Woodward. There's something else. We have him over coffee in the morning. Do you have coffee with Mr. Woodward?
Sure
you
do.
ought to join the
Coffee
bunch.
and cookies.
And well, he doesn't eat cookies. I don't know. He heard a rumor they make your hair fall out or something. I don't know. God, I've gotten in too many tonight. I'll tell you, I've been saving them up because there was no show last week. I'm on a roll. I just
On a
had
roll.
them tightened up. So, what kind of guests do you have on your show for people that don't watch it? That probably should.
They probably should. It's really interesting. We had a police chief talk about crime prevention, and we had somebody on to tell about the haunted houses, and we're going to have a lot of upcoming exciting shows.
Okay. So,
And
so they're going to be. So the
and-
show's basically have to do with the community.
yeah,
right?
and we're also adding some new parts to the show, new sections.
Such as?
We're going to have a part where we read letters from the viewing audience.
Oh, viewer mail?
Yeah.
We're going to do that on this show sometime.
viewer
Viewer mail. I don't know if our viewer mail will be like your viewer mail, though.
Well,
Oh!
I still got a couple ball jokes left. Don't try me.
and we have some great guests that we're going to be having on.
Such as? And anything upcoming that you could just
well,
give us a
they're
sneak
not,
peek?
They're not on release for the public yet.
Oh, I see. Not on release for the public. Now, your show doesn't have an audience. It's kind of scaled down, no band. Is there any talk of possibly making it the big event, the big
Well,
gala that this show
John,
is?
we really got some surprises for you.
Oh, you do? What do you
Yeah.
Anything you
They're
could
not-
let
They're
us
not
know?
on release for public.
Oh, they're not on
yet,
release
no.
for public. When will there be a show on tonight?
We're really improving the show.
Will there
quite
be a
bit.
show on tonight?
Yes. No. No, not tonight. Yeah, tonight.
Tonight. It's Thursday night, remember? Yeah. So there will be?
Yeah.
Who will be on the show? So people that might want to stay tuned.
Officer Bird.
Officer Officer Bill. Officer Bill and Officer Smiley.
Officer Beard, I mean.
Officer Bird. How many times have you had him on the show? So is it a good show? Has it already been taped?
Yeah.
And it's a good show?
It's great.
Just a Thooper show?
A Thooper
Thooper
Tho.
Thooper Tho.
A Thooper Tho. Yeah, it'll be really great. You'll just stay tuned. It's
So
going
you
to
are
be right
planning-
on after this.
So you are planning some advancements for the show to make
Sure.
it better?
Yes, we are.
It's a good. You do a good job on that show, really.
Well, thank you, John.
Have you ever done any television before that? Before this show?
No.
You'd never done anything? You weren't in. What?
Go ahead.
What were you gonna say? You didn't do any, right?
No.
Okay. You weren't in TV Club last year?
No, I wasn't.
Why?
Well, John, I just haven't discovered you yet, and TV Club.
You did watch WCHS Today last year?
No, we don't have cable.
Oh, so you're in the same shoes as Mrs. Knapp. What?
Yes.
Where do you people live that there's no cable? I mean, can't you get a satellite dish or something? I mean, Mr.
Well,
Hagemeyer.
we're having one. We're having one.
Go ahead.
They want
It was a Mr. Hagemeyer joke. Go ahead.
Well, we're having one put in, so we get things from Russia.
A dish put in?
Yeah.
Now, I was just joking about the dish. I guess we really wouldn't be carried over a dish because we're just on cable. But there must be some Russian high school student someplace in Russia that does
That
a
have
show
this-
just like this.
And I thought maybe
What
I
do you
could get
think?
some ideas.
His name's
You know.
probably Ustinov or something. But
Or Yogelstrov.
yeah, or something like that. Something we can't pronounce.
Something.
So, do you plan on going on any further? You've got 2 more years left, just like Mike there, who's got lots of things planned with this show. But do you have anything planned with that show for the next couple of years?
Yep.
Are you just gonna? Do you think you'll continue just doing this show, or do you think you'll start any new shows?
I may add a couple shows.
A couple shows to the lineup. You're gonna become Miss Executive Producer.
That's right.
We would like to see
No,
some
yes,
ladies
Miss-
in Miss Executive Producer.
Miss Executive Producer.
Mike is working on a game show. That's upcoming on
That'll be
Channel
on
5.
the Hagemeyer Network.
The Hagemeyer Network. You're in touch with the world. Eggy.
Oh, and we're gonna start our own TV channel, hopefully.
Oh, we are?
Yeah.
Here, you mean
On
here?
upcoming years, you know. That's
Oh,
one of my
I
goals.
did not know that. That's a great goal. Do you plan on going on with this in your future plans?
I can't think that far ahead. I mean, I
Oh,
haven't.
No, I know what you mean. You just haven't thought that
No,
far
I
ahead.
haven't.
Well, might be something to think about getting into someday.
Someday.
Yeah, you could be the next Jane Pauley or somebody like that. I don't
Next
know. The
Joan
next Christine
Rivers.
Zach. The next Joan
Christine
Rivers.
Zach.
Yeah. Christine Zach, by the way, will be on this show in a couple weeks. So I know you all just can't wait for that. We're going to drill her. Speaking of drilling people, Donna, are you seeing anybody right now?
Are you seeing anybody, John?
No, wait a minute.
Wait,
I just know. We won't.
Would you like me to tell her, John?
We won't. I was just joking. You don't have to answer that question. And
But I will.
oh, you will?
I will.
Okay.
If you answer mine.
Okay. Like I said, it's about time. Our time is
Or
up
is
for
that
tonight.
not on release for public attention
No, not
yet? Or?
on release for public attention yet, as we say.
If you want to date with John, look at his number up in the phone book and phone him.
No. Just give the school number.
Extension
extension
25. He'll go.
Or you can
He'll go,
write the school.
Gee, somebody called me. Do you think the wife will find out?
Or you can write the school in care of Miss Rogers' neighborhood, and we'll read it over the air, and we'll see what John thinks about it.
Okay.
Sound like a
Thanks
good
a lot.
idea?
Sounds
Sure.
like a great idea. Well,
Anything
Donna, I
to
wanna
have
thank
my
you.
fellow- my
I want to
fellow-
thank you for being here, and we'll be watching you in upcoming weeks. And Mrs. Knapp, we'll be watching you in upcoming weeks.
Oh,
Just
thank you.
We'll be in person. I'll be in for passes, that kind of thing.
You're usually there every day,
I'm
John.
usually there, yeah. So I will be getting out of 1st through 6th tomorrow, right? I'm going to be an official tour guide.
That's
You
right.
did
I
authorize
understand
that,
you.
right?
I understand you have new passes.
Yeah. Did you authorize that?
I don't remember
I'm gonna-
authorizing it.
Do you think maybe I should
But
interview
you're
one of those
usually
people
pretty
on the
good
show?
at using
Yeah.
my name.
Yeah, it's called the VNAP stamp we've got here. We just stamp the passes as they come by. Anyway, I want to thank you both for being here. Ms. Knapp, again, congratulations on
Thank you.
your wonderful job, and I'll have you on again. sometime because you're really a good guest. And Donna, we'll have you on again sometime before the year's over.
And hopefully I'll have you on.
Yeah, maybe not. You know, I'm not the interview type. I do better interviewing people, not being interviewed.
Me too.
So, I want to thank you for watching WCHS Today tonight. We will be back we won't be here next week. I'm telling that to you at home. Also for the people on the staff, don't show up at the door next week because it's Thanksgiving, and I guess Mr. Egenmeyer is going to have turkey with the new wife. And she'll go, "What a turkey!" So we'll be back 2 weeks from tonight, and Christine Zach will probably be here that night, or she's going to be here in some upcoming show. So good night, everybody, and have a nice Thanksgiving.